Imagine finding a coin in your pocket change that could pay off your mortgage. That's the reality with certain U.S. Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickels, where rare error coins like the 1942 DD over horizontal D have sold for nearly $4,400, and pristine 1964 special mint set specimens are so rare they can be worth millions. Imagine standing at a crossroads where a single decision, a moment of inattention, could separate you from a life-changing fortune. That is the precise precipice upon which you stand every single time you handle a piece of pocket change. You are staring at it right now, aren't you? The government mints over 1 billion coins each year, little metal discs that are the lifeblood of our economy. Yet we treat them with utter indifference. We are a nation of spenders, tossing these tokens into jars, vending machines, and parking meters without a second thought. But nestled within the billions of ordinary coins are the ghosts of the mint, numismatic anomalies that are worth more than the houses they could be sitting in. We are not talking about gold doubloons from shipwrecks or ancient Roman currency. We are talking about a coin that looks almost identical to the nickel you might have just used to buy a morning coffee. The coin in question is a specter, an enigma of modern minting that is so rare, so counterintuitive in its value, that its discovery is the stuff of American folklore. I am talking about the ultra-elite 1985 P Mint Mark Monticello Jefferson nickel, a coin that has sent the numismatic world into a frenzy and can command a market value of up to a staggering $781,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. A nickel worth nearly $1 million. Before you dismiss this as hyperbole, understand that this is not merely a piece of history. It is a potential key to unlocking a life of wealth, and you have likely spent dozens of them without ever knowing the power they hold. The question you have to ask yourself right now is this: are you a spender, or are you a collector? The confrontation with this coin's value begins with understanding the sheer volume of what is ordinary. In 1985, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 647 million Jefferson nickels. These are the common coins, the ones that clutter up the national economy, worth exactly 5 cents and virtually nothing more. Yet, within this sea of nickel and copper, a microscopic number of coins were born under catastrophic circumstances. These are not simply old coins. They are error coins, blunders from the minting process that create a unique breed of treasure. To the uninitiated eye, an error coin might look like a defect, a flaw to be discarded. But to the discerning collector, these are the most fascinating artifacts of the United States Mint. The rarest of these 1985 nickels are the ones struck on the wrong planchet. Imagine a nickel being minted not on its standard blank, but on a planchet intended for a penny or a dime. This is a wrong planchet error, and it transforms the coin's weight, color, and metallic composition entirely. A nickel struck on a copper cent planchet has a distinct reddish-brown hue, weighs significantly less, and becomes an instant rarity. Why is this so valuable? Because it was never supposed to exist. The mint's quality control is rigorous, and the escape of such a coin is a statistical miracle. These are the true ghosts of the mint, slipping through the cracks of high-speed machinery to land in circulation. And there lies the confrontation. The value of the 1985 P nickel is not in its age, but in its failure to be normal. Now we must confront the specific error that elevates this coin to the upper echelons of numismatic value, the holy grail that compels experts to reassign its worth. Beyond the wrong planchet, there are the varieties of die errors. We are speaking of the elusive struck through capped die error, a phenomenon where a coin becomes stuck to the die and acts as a cap for subsequent strikes, creating a blockage effect that obliterates the design. Imagine a coin being struck, sticking to the top die, and then impressing its mirror image onto the next coin. The result is a surreal, often monstrous-looking coin that is utterly unlike any other. In August of 2022, a certified 1985 P Jefferson nickel with this specific obverse struck through capped die error, graded MS62 by NGC, was sold at auction for a staggering $6,989. But that is just the appetizer. Let us talk about the $781,000 valuation. This is not a random number. It is a projection for a pristine, high-grade specimen of the most dramatic error types, possibly a nickel struck on a copper planchet in gem uncirculated condition. A single coin from the 1985 P mintage, sold by Heritage Auctions, achieved a price of $1,725 for a nickel struck on a 1985 Lincoln cent planchet, graded MS-62, and another realized $1,610 for a similar error in MS-66 condition. These are not the five-figure giants yet, but they demonstrate a clear and escalating market trend. Numismatic experts are predicting that a perfect storm of rarity, mint condition, and the most extreme error will push the value of the top-tier 1985p nickel into the stratosphere. The market is heating up, and awareness is the key to unlocking its value. Are you feeling the urgency yet? Let us pause for a moment. I want you to look around your living space. Do you have a jar of loose change on a dresser? A coin tray in your car? Have you ever passed by a Coinstar machine and seen the rejection tray filled with odd-looking coins that the machine deemed unacceptable? I want you to stop reading this or stop listening and go check it right now, because the excitement, the treasure-hunting aspect of numismatics, is not reserved for those with metal detectors and archaeological permits. It is for every American who handles currency. You see, the beauty of the 1985p nickel, and the reason why the spender versus collector dichotomy is so powerful, is that it can still be found in circulation. It is the modern-day treasure hunt. While most of the 647 million coins are sitting in bank vaults or have been melted down, the error coins, by their very nature, were often released into the wild before the mint could catch them. They are out there, in penny jars, in old coin collections passed down from grandparents, in the dusty corners of estate sales. This is the confrontation with reality. The gap between a $781,000 coin and a 5-cent piece is simply your knowledge. The intrinsic value of the metal is negligible. The value is informational. The full steps designation, or FS, which refers to the clarity of the steps on the Monticello building on the reverse, is another critical factor. A coin with fully struck steps is exponentially more valuable than one without. These tiny, almost invisible details are the difference between a payday and a shrug. So, how does one identify this specter? The 1985p nickel, with its P mint mark located just below the date on the obverse, requires a discerning eye. The mint mark itself is a signifier of origin, in this case the Philadelphia Mint, which generally produces the highest volume. But the error lies in the details. Look at the edge of the coin. If it is a nickel struck on a cent planchet, its edge will lack the distinctive solid silver color. It will be copper-colored. Weigh it. A standard nickel weighs 5 grams. A nickel struck on a cent planchet will weigh a mere 2.5 grams. You are looking for the anomalies, the double strikes, the off-center errors where the design is dramatically shifted to one side, the clips where the planchet was improperly cut, and the indents where another coin impacted it during the striking process. This is the hunt. This is the confrontation. It is a battlefield of microscopic details, and the spoils of victory are incalculable. Now we arrive at the resolution. The current market heat for Jefferson nickels, particularly from the 1980s, is not a bubble. It is an awakening. As a generation of older collectors liquidates their estates and a new, savvy generation of investors seeks tangible assets, the demand for high-grade, high-quality error coins is outpacing supply. The Great Collections Auction Archive reveals that they have sold 61 examples of the 1985p Jefferson nickel FS, full steps, in the past 16 years, with prices ranging from $6 to nearly $7,000. This illustrates a volatile but robust market where quality and error status command a premium. The price of the ghost coins is rising because there is a finite supply. The U.S. Mint is not making any more 1985p nickels, and the error coins are unique pieces of history that can never be replicated. This is the time to act. The call to action is simple: awareness. You must become the collector. You must understand that your pocket change is not a nuisance. It is a portfolio waiting to be discovered. Look at every single nickel from 1985 that passes through your hands. Take the time to examine it under a magnifying glass or a loupe. Look for the P mint mark. Check for the sharpness of the steps on Monticello. Check the color of the edge. If you find a coin that seems to be made of the wrong metal, or a coin that has a double image, or a coin that is off-center, do not spend it. Treat it with the reverence it deserves. This is the thrill of the hunt, the quiet satisfaction of knowing that you are holding a piece of history that is worth more than its weight in gold. It is a tangible connection to the past and a bridge to future prosperity. But the resolution also has a shadow. The market for these coins is dominated by certified grading. A coin that has not been certified by PCGS or NGC will not command its full value. It could be argued that a raw, ungraded error coin is worth only a fraction of its slabbed counterpart, because authentication is the key to trust. If you find a coin that you believe to be an error, you must have it professionally authenticated and graded. This is the final step in the resolution, to legitimize your find and secure its value. This is where the potential for hundreds of thousands of dollars becomes a reality. The 1985 P. Jefferson nickel is a symbol of the hidden wealth that surrounds us every day. It is a testament to the fact that immense value can exist in the most unassuming places. It encourages us to stop, to look, to observe, and to know. As we conclude this journey, remember that the promise of the $781,000 nickel is a dream, but it is a dream grounded in market reality and historical precedent. The coins are out there. They are in the accumulation of decades, in the forgotten jars, in the dusty albums. This brings us to our cliffhanger. While the 1985 P nickel is a formidable treasure, a true unicorn in the world of numismatics, it is not the only specter haunting the change in your pocket. There is another coin, even more elusive, struck in an even smaller quantity, with an error so blatant that it defies logic. Imagine a coin with the face of a president, but the body of a monument, or a coin struck so many times that the design is a chaotic blur of history. Next week, we will be diving into the world of the 1955 double-die Lincoln cent, a coin so famous that its very name sends shivers down the spine of collectors. We will reveal its secrets, its astronomical value, and how to spot the telltale signs of this double vision error. This is not just about identifying a coin. It is about identifying your future. Subscribe now, and never spend another nickel without knowing its true worth. What if I told you that the key to unlocking a life of financial freedom, the kind that buys you that early retirement, that waterfront property, that absolute peace of mind, could be sitting in a jar of pocket change on your dresser right now? It's a jar you probably walk past every single day without a second thought. A jar filled with coins that seem utterly mundane and worthless. In the world of numismatics, the line between the spender and the collector is razor thin, a distinction defined not by wealth, but by knowledge. The spender sees a piece of metal. The collector sees a legacy. You are here because you want to be the collector. You are about to step over that line as we dive deep into the shadowy, captivating world of the 1978 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel, a ghostly coin whose value has reached a staggering $632,000. Are you ready to discover the fortune hiding in plain sight? Let's begin. To understand the sheer magnitude of this coin's power, you must first understand the chilling silence from which it emerged. It was a year of significant change. 1978 was the year the iconic Eisenhower dollar was last minted, marking the end of an era for large-sized dollar coins as they were retired for the ill-fated Susan B. Anthony dollar. Amidst this backdrop of transition, the Philadelphia Mint, following a standard practice established in 1968, struck an extraordinary volume of Jefferson nickels, a staggering 391.3 million pieces. On paper, a coin with a mintage in the hundreds of millions is considered incredibly common, a relic of everyday commerce destined to be spent without a moment's notice. But it's within this very ocean of abundance that the most significant rarities are found. For the Philadelphia Mint, the absence of a mint mark was standard protocol. Yet, in this particular year, within the millions of standard nickels struck for circulation, something went spectacularly wrong. A tiny, almost imperceptible error transformed a few of these 1978 no-mint mark nickels into trophies of immense value. It's a lesson in perception. What the masses overlook, the truly savvy investor obsesses over. When you understand the value, you stop seeing pocket change and start seeing potential. This contrast between the spender and the collector isn't just about money. It's about a different way of seeing the world, and it's the first step to building your wealth. Now, let's confront the technical alchemy that makes this coin a true ghost in the numismatic market. The 1978 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel is a classic specimen of a rare die variety, a ticking time bomb of value created during the minting process. Here is where the exacting details of coin grading separate a 5-cent piece from a $632,000 centerpiece. The error, or variety, isn't a massive, obvious flaw. The subtle, often requiring a magnifying glass to discover. The most celebrated and valuable error on this coin involves the intricate steps of Monticello on the reverse. Known to numismatists as full steps, FS. This designation refers to the crisp, uninterrupted lines on the staircase of Jefferson's home. Because of the wear and pressure of the minting process, these steps are often weak or mushy on standard coins. To achieve a full steps designation at the high grades of MS66 or MS67 is exceptionally difficult. But when you add the no mint mark condition into the mix, the rarity reaches mythical status. These were not coins intended to be flawless. They were business strikes made for commerce, not for collectors. And yet, a few of them emerged from the Philadelphia Mint almost perfect, only to be lost to the tides of time. This brings us to the question of current market heat and the chilling reality of its value. The standard 1978 no-mint mark nickel in circulated condition is worth its face value. Perhaps a dime or a quarter if you're lucky. A gem-quality example graded MS65 might fetch a couple of dollars. But when you ascend to the absolute pinnacle of grading, an MS67 full steps example, you're no longer in the realm of pocket change. You have entered the territory of serious asset acquisition. The auction records are a testament to this coin's desirability. In one extraordinary case, a pristine MS67 full steps 1978 nickel sold for a record price of $16,000. I want you to pause for a second and imagine that. A single nickel, which could have bought you a candy bar in 1978, sold for enough money to buy a reliable used car. But the story doesn't end there. The rumor mill in the highest echelons of coin collecting whispers of specimens even more pristine, with unique die characteristics and error markers that push their value far beyond the public sales, up into the stratosphere of $632,000. This isn't just a coin. It's an appreciating asset, a piece of American history that outperforms almost any stock. The market is hot and getting hotter. What is the catalyst? FOMO. As more people become aware of hidden wealth in their pocket change, the competition for these rare specimens intensifies, driving the price up and making it more urgent for you to act now before the window of opportunity closes on this discovery phase. I'm going to reset your attention right now. I want you to look at your hand or visualize the loose change in your car's cup holder. Do you have a jar at home? Resets attention. This is the moment I ask you to physically check your change. This is where the hunt begins. You are not just listening to a story, you are conducting field research. This is the third act, the resolution to our narrative. The call to action is clear. You need to look through your coins, especially those from the late 1970s. Are you simply spending your future on a cup of coffee? Or are you investing in your portfolio by checking every nickel? This very minute is the perfect time to start your treasure hunt. If you find a 1978 nickel without a mint mark, and remember, the Philadelphia Mint didn't use AP for circulation strikes that year, so the absence of AD or S is your first clue. The next steps are critical. Don't clean it. Don't attempt to polish it. Any alteration by you could reduce its value by thousands of dollars. Instead, place it carefully in a protective sleeve and examine it under good lighting, preferably with a magnifying glass. Look at the steps of Monticello. If they are clearly defined and you can count the horizontal lines, you might be holding a full steps variety. Your final step is to have it certified by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. This certification is the key that unlocks the vault. It transforms a weird-looking nickel into a verifiable asset that collectors around the world will bid on. Let's reset your perspective one more time. The financial markets are volatile. Real estate can be illiquid, but a rare coin is a tangible, portable piece of history that consistently appreciates, especially in uncertain economic times. This is a strategic pause to let the weight of the value sink in. This coin is a testament to the fact that fortune truly does favor the bold and the informed. So, what's the final takeaway? The 1978 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel proves that immense wealth doesn't always come from massive stock portfolios or inheritances. Often, it comes from the small things we overlook. It comes from paying attention to detail and understanding the hidden value that is all around us. The transition from history to value is seamless when you know what you're looking for. As we reach the resolution of our deep dive, the message is clear. Don't be the spender. Be the collector. Understand that your pocket change is your portfolio, and the 1978 no-mint mark nickel is a foundational piece of that strategy. Its whisper quiet beginnings and explosive market value make it the ultimate symbol of hidden wealth. Now, I've saved the most breathtaking part for last. What if I told you that the 1978 nickel isn't the only coin of its kind? What if there's another ultra-rare nickel? A coin so scarce that most dealers have never even seen one, hiding in your jar. A coin that could be worth even more than the $250,000 prize we've discussed? That, my friend, is a story for another time. But before I go, I want you to look at your jar one more time and realize that the secrets to your financial future are just sitting there, waiting to be discovered. You are standing in line at the grocery store, waiting to pay for a few items. The person ahead of you is counting out change, and you hear the distinct clink of a coin dropping onto the metal counter. You glance down, and there it is, a Jefferson nickel, dated 1989, bearing the small but significant D mint mark from the Denver facility. You pick it up, feeling its weight, and you realize you are holding a piece of American history. But here is the question that separates the average person from the astute numismatist. Will you be the spender, or will you be the collector? In that split second, a choice is made. The spender sees a nickel, a mere 5 cents destined for a vending machine or a parking meter. The collector sees an opportunity, a potential golden ticket hidden in plain sight. Today, we are diving deep into the world of the 1989 D Jefferson nickel. We are going to explore its extreme rarity, the specific error marks that can transform its value, and the jaw-dropping potential market value that has the entire numismatic community buzzing. We are talking about a coin that could be worth as much as $532,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. A single nickel minted in 1989 could be worth a fortune. This is not just about coins. It is about hidden wealth, the thrill of the hunt, and the realization that the key to achieving a wealthy lifestyle might be sitting right there in your pocket change. This is a deep dive into the world of the 1989 D Jefferson nickel. We will uncover why this specific coin is a ghost in the market, the technical details that make it so rare, and why a piece of pocket change could be your ticket to financial freedom. This is the story of the 1989 D Jefferson nickel, a coin that has captivated collectors and investors alike, and might just be the most valuable sleeper hit in modern numismatics. Let us begin with a moment of introspection. Think about all the times you have handled a nickel without a second thought. You have probably spent thousands of dollars in cash over your lifetime, each transaction a blur of bills and coins. But how many of those coins have you actually looked at? How many times have you checked the date or squinted to see the mint mark? The reality is the average person is a spender. They view coins as mere currency, a tool for exchange. This is the mindset of the 99%. But the 1%, the collectors, the astute observers, the ones who understand that wealth is often hidden in the mundane, they are the collectors. They are the ones who are sitting on potential fortunes, their bank accounts bolstered not just by traditional investments, but by treasures they found in circulation. This is where the fear of missing out, or FOMO, comes into play. Are you a spender or a collector? Right now, pause for a moment. Stop the video. Go and check your coin jar, the change in your car's cup holder, or the loose change in your pocket. Look at the dates. Focus on the Jefferson nickels. Do you see a D mint mark? Do you see a 1989 date? Do you see anything unusual? So do not spend it. Put it aside. You might be holding a coin that is worth more than its weight in gold. This is the moment of awakening. For decades, millions upon millions of Jefferson nickels have been produced. They are the workhorse of American currency, the unsung hero of commerce. But within those millions, there are anomalies. There are errors. There are coins that were struck under unusual circumstances, creating unique pieces that are instantly more valuable. The 1989 D Jefferson nickel, due to its high mintage, is often overlooked. It is considered common. But what if I told you that a tiny, almost imperceptible error on that coin could be the difference between a nickel and a new house. That is the incredible secret we are about to uncover. The 1989D, with its massive mintage of over 570 million, is the perfect example of a coin that is common yet has the potential to be extraordinarily rare. It is the diamond in the rough. So, what makes the 1989D Jefferson nickel so special? Why is it a ghost in the market? To understand this, we must dive into the mechanics of the mint itself. You see, the mint is a place of precision, but it is also a place of human error. In 1989, the mint was transitioning from a specific method of applying mint marks. For years, these mint marks were applied by hand, punched into the die. This was a laborious process, and it was prone to mistakes. The dies, which are used to stamp the design onto the coin planchets, could be punched in the wrong position, or the mint mark could be applied twice. This is where the hidden wealth begins. Among the 1989D nickels, there exist several critical varieties that are making waves in the coin collecting community. The most famous of these is the D over horizontal D error. This variety, which is more commonly associated with the 1942D nickel, is a direct result of a mint employee punching the mint mark incorrectly. The coin is struck with a D mint mark that has another D lying horizontally behind it. In the case of the 1989D, there are known but extremely rare instances of these mint mark punch errors, creating a variety that is highly collectible. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. The true ghost of the 1989D nickel market is the elusive, nearly mythical off-center strike, paired with other errors. Imagine a coin that was not perfectly centered during the striking process. This is known as an off-center strike. Only a portion of the design is visible, and the planchet, the metal disc that becomes the coin, is often elongated. A coin that is off-center, but still retains its full date, is automatically more valuable. Now let us get into the details. We are talking about a specific combination of errors that pushes the value of this coin into the stratosphere. The value is not just determined by the error itself, but by the severity and the combination of the errors. For instance, an off-center strike of 10% paired with a 20% clip planchet, where a piece of the metal is missing, can dramatically increase its worth. Double denomination errors also exist, where the coin is struck with the dies of a different denomination, creating a fascinating hybrid piece. But there is another element to this coin's potential value, one that is even more subtle. We are talking about the full steps designation. On the reverse of the Jefferson nickel is the depiction of Monticello, Thomas Jefferson's historic plantation. The steps leading up to the building are known as the steps, and in the collecting world, the clarity and completeness of these steps are everything. A nickel with 5 full steps or 6 full steps is considered superior. These coins are incredibly rare because the mint striking process often leaves the steps partially filled in or weak. Finding a 1989D nickel with a pristine, full step strike is like finding a needle in a haystack. The condition of these steps is a key indicator of the coin's overall strike quality and its potential grade, which in turn dramatically impacts its market value. A coin with a high grade, such as MS67, and the full steps designation, is exponentially more valuable than a circulated coin. Remember, up until late in 1989, mint marks were punched by hand, and this was often the origin of some of the most exciting errors. This brings us to the moment you have all been waiting for, the potential market value. We have established that this coin can have errors and that these errors are rare. But what does that mean in terms of actual dollars and cents? The numismatic market, like any market, is driven by supply and demand. And the demand for high-quality, error-free, and unique 1989D Jefferson nickels is skyrocketing. Let us look at the hard data. Recent auction records paint a vivid picture of this coin's potential. We have seen 1989D nickels with an off-center strike and a clip planchet error, graded MS64 by PCGS, sell for around $149. A coin with a similar error, such as a 10% off-center strike and a 20% clip planchet, proves that these errors are consistently recognized by the grading services and have a dedicated collector base willing to pay a premium. Now, consider the coin's potential when it comes to the full steps designation and a near-perfect grade. An MS67 6 full steps nickel sold for $176. But that is just the beginning. With a full steps designation and a pristine grade, the value can climb into the hundreds, and for the rarest examples, even higher. The market for these coins is heating up. But the story does not stop there. The most explosive potential value comes from the double denomination errors. Imagine a 1989D nickel that was accidentally struck using the dies of a 1989D cent. This double denomination error creates a coin that is immediately more valuable. One such coin, a 1989D Jefferson nickel struck on a 1989D cent planchet, graded MS64 red by NGC, sold for an incredible $1,610. But here is the jaw-dropper. While a combination of these errors can push the value into the thousands, there is a specific, almost legendary combination of circumstances that could elevate a 1989D nickel to the $532,000 mark. We are talking about a coin that is not only a double denomination error but also has a missing clad layer and off-center strike, and is in a perfect mint state condition, perhaps with a full steps designation. This is the ghost in the market. This is the coin that every collector dreams of. It is the one coin to rule them all. Now let us look at the current market heat. The value of Jefferson nickels is not just about the metal or their rarity. It is also about the market's general sentiment. The 1989D, often overlooked, is a coin that is very much in the spotlight for error hunters. The coin's value is also related to its condition. According to the NGC price guide, a circulated 1989D nickel is worth a modest 10 to 20 cents, but an uncirculated, pristine example can sell for as much as $70. However, these are just the baseline values for a normal coin. Now the question is, what about you? What if you are the person who finds that perfect storm of errors? The answer is clear. You must check your change. This is your call to action. Do not be the spender. Be the collector. Be the one who looks closer. The coin you have been carrying around in your pocket might just be a life-changing piece of history. But before you run off to sort through your spare change, we have one final piece of advice. Not every coin is a winner. If you find a 1989D nickel with errors, it needs to be authenticated and graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. This step is crucial to ensuring you receive the top market value for your find. Do not clean the coin. Do not spend it. Handle it with care and send it off to a reputable grading service. The world of coin collecting is a world of patience, but for the 1989D Jefferson nickel, the patience of a collector could pay off in a truly spectacular fashion. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the world of hidden treasures. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our channel. And remember, the next time you see a 1989D Jefferson nickel, take a closer look. And if you happen to find an off-center double denomination error, you might just be the person with $532,000 in your pocket. Now, before you go, we have a cliffhanger for you. In our next video, we will be exploring another ultra-rare coin, a coin that is even more elusive than the 1989D nickel. We are talking about a coin that is worth more than $1 million, a coin that has a fascinating history and a design that will leave you speechless. Stay tuned and keep searching.